In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on September 17, 2022, and providing you with team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Penn State versus Auburn. The Penn State Nittany Lions travel to Auburn as they meet the Auburn Tigers in one of the early season marquee matchups. The Big Ten collides with the Atlantic Coast Conference in this matchup in a battle of arguably the 2 toughest football conferences in America. The Nittany Lions are coming off an easy 46-10 home win over Ohio, while the Tigers won a surprisingly challenging game over San Jose State at home. With conference play looming, each team will look to remain unbeaten as we hit the final 2 weekends in September. Penn State's offense will be up against a tough Auburn defense, but the passing attack for the Nittany Lions, led by quarterback Sean Clifford, will be the difference. Penn State is passing for an average of 323 yards per game, and although Auburn has a tough defense against the run, the Tigers are allowing an average of 236 yards per game passing. Penn State has covered the spread in 13 of its last 19, and the Nittany Lions have covered the spread in 12 of the last 15 against a team outside the Big Ten. Auburn has failed to cover the spread in 6 of its last 7 overall, and in each of its last 5 non-conference games. One major streak will come to an end on Saturday afternoon in Auburn, with the Tigers' 17 straight home win streak against non-conference opponents on the line. I fully expect Penn State to load the box to stop the run and force Auburn to try to beat their excellent secondary, but it is not going to happen. The Nittany Lions are going to pick up their 2nd road win of the season and will likely climb up the rankings after defeating a Southeastern Conference team on the road. So the Penn State Nittany Lions to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. While Penn State is capable of playing in high-scoring contests, they are also quite capable in content playing a grinded-out style of game. In fact, in their last 5 games against Southeastern Conference opponents, Penn State is 4-1 to the under. Auburn is still a few years away and a few quality recruiting classes from joining the upper-tier teams in the Southeastern Conference, and they simply don't have the firepower to match up with Penn State. As I noted above, Penn State will certainly force Auburn into throwing the ball in this game, and that plays right into the Nittany Lions' strengths on defense. The Penn State defense should keep Auburn under 20 points. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Ole Miss versus Georgia Tech. It's a battle between the Southeastern Conference and Atlantic Coast Conference as Georgia Tech hosts Mississippi on Saturday. The 20th ranked Ole Miss Rebels are 2-0 on the season, while the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets are 1-1 on the season. These 2 teams haven't squared off since 2013, when Mississippi won 25-17. The Rebels are 3-1 against the spread in their last 5 in September and 2-5 against the spread in their last 8 after a against the spread win. Ole Miss is 6-2 against the spread in their last 9 non-conference games. Meanwhile, the Jackets are 16-35 against the spread in their last 51 overall and 5-12 against the spread in their last 17 in September. Georgia Tech is 6-21 against the spread versus a team with a winning record. After a 28-10 win against Troy in Week 1 and a 59-3 win against Central Arkansas in Week 2, the Ole Miss Rebels will head on the road to Atlanta for a non-conference matchup with Georgia Tech on Saturday. The Yellow Jackets are 1-1 and welcome the Rebels after a 35-17 win over FCS Western Carolina in Week 2. Despite their win, the Yellow Jackets were outgained by the Catamounts by nearly 50 yards and allowed the Catamounts to record 26 first downs while forcing just 3 punts. Through 2 games, the Yellow Jackets' offense is one of the nation's worst in terms of yards per game and points per game. Their quarterback, Jeff Sims, has struggled to read defenses and make adequate throws, as shown by his stat line last week against Western Carolina, when he completed just 8 passes for 100 yards and an interception. Defensively, the Yellow Jackets have struggled to stop the run and rank 121st in opposing rushing success rate, which will be the exact area of the defense coach Lane Kiffin and the Rebels will look to exploit. Ole Miss is one of the better rushing offenses in the country, as the Rebels rank in the top 20 in rushing success rate and rushing yards per game. Leading the rushing attack is TCU transfer running back Zach Evans and freshman Quinshon Judkins, who have combined for 374 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns on 55 carries through 2 games. Coach Kiffin likes to deploy multiple running backs to keep legs fresh, so do not be surprised to see Evans and Judkins continue to split carries while Kiffin incorporates Ulysses Bentley IV as well. Ole Miss will likely be able to control the ball for a large part of this game because of its rushing attack and should be able to cruise to a comfortable win despite this being its first true road game. Georgia Tech is 1-10 against the spread in its last 11 games after a win and has covered just 4 games in weeks 1-6 since coach Jeff Collins took over in 2019. So Mississippi to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both teams love to run the football and do it often, as Ole Miss is averaging 40.5 rushing attempts per game while Georgia Tech is running 32 times as well. That means the clock is going to drain and less total plays will need to be called. These defenses have been doing extremely well as the Rebels are giving up 6.5 points per game this year while the Yellow Jackets are allowing 29 points per game thus far, so both teams are doing well defensively. Georgia Tech's defense gave up a lot of yards, but had a bend-don't-break quality with 4 turnovers, including 3 picks. So while they get run up, Georgia Tech will keep them under 40 points. Meanwhile, I don't have a lot of faith in the Yellow Jackets' offense. The quarterback, Sims, did nothing against Western Carolina, so the Rebels will load up on the run game and force Tech to try and win through the air, and that won't work out for Tech. They were outplayed last week, and I don't see them hitting 20 points this week. The under has hit in each of the previous 5 Rebels road games as well as in the last 4 Yellow Jackets games overall. While I don't think that Georgia Tech will be able to start Mississippi no matter who their quarterback is, I think the total is set too high here. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Colorado versus Minnesota. The Minnesota Golden Gophers, off to a soaring 2-0 start to the college football season, are set to host the Colorado Buffaloes this Saturday, September 17th. Colorado has had a rocky start to the season, no pun intended, losing their games against TCU and Air Force by a combined score of 79-23. Meanwhile, Minnesota most recently thrashed Western Illinois 62-10 and have outscored their opponents 100-10 on the season. The Buffaloes are 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 non-conference games and 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games in September. The Golden Gophers are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 home games and 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The under is 4-1 in Buffalo's last 5 non-conference games. The under is 5-1 in Golden Gophers' last 6 home games. Minnesota has scored a lot and not allowed opponents to score at all. They're averaging 50 points per game and allowing 10 per game. This differential will not last for the season, of course, but against a weak Colorado team that is struggling to find its offensive identity, Minnesota should separate themselves in this contest early. Minnesota has averaged 582 yards per game so far this season, and moving the ball has come easy with their massive offensive line leading the way. The Minnesota Golden Gophers still have some showing and proving to do, as they haven't played anybody through 2 games. However, the Colorado Buffaloes have been dreadful defensively, and it's hard to back them with confidence seeing them struggle so bad through 2 contests. Minnesota has playmakers on the offensive side and should be able to have success if teams like TCU and Air Force had their way. The Minnesota Golden Gophers are rolling through the first part of the season and will continue that trend this week. Minnesota will dominate this game in every aspect as they will again coast to an easy W, so the Minnesota Golden Gophers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Buffaloes aren't very good offensively and they're averaging 11.5 points per game through their first 2 games. They are playing a dominant defense that doesn't give up a lot of yards and is holding opponents to 5 points per game, so expect them to be shut out in this game. Scoring hasn't been a problem for the Golden Gophers, who are averaging 50 points per game through their first 2 games. They are the second best running team in the country and they're facing the worst run defense and a team that is giving up 39.5 points per game, so expect the Golden Gophers to run up the score in this game and push the score past the total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.